Imagine a metal that cannot be broken, cannot be melted, cannot be destroyed. A metal so powerful that whoever holds it holds the entire world. Scientists say it's impossible. Marvel calls it vibranium. But what if it was real? What if it crashed into Earth thousands of years ago and changed everything? Buckle up, because this timeline is about to get wild. It's 1000 BC, Central Africa, middle of the night, and then something comes screaming through the sky. A meteorite, the size of a stadium. It hits the Earth so hard, the shockwave is felt 500 miles away. Animals flee. The ground splits open, and when the dust finally settles, something in that crater is glowing. A group of hunters investigate the crash site the next morning. They expect destruction. What they find is something else entirely. A rock, metallic, blue, warm to the touch. They try to break it. Nothing. They throw it into fire. It doesn't even get hot. One elder picks it up, holds it to the sky, and says, "This is not from our world." He was right, and nothing would ever be the same. Over the next 50 years, they learn to work with it. And I say learn loosely because this metal does not play by the rules. Normal hammering? Useless. Fire? Laughs at fire. But here's where it gets interesting. Vibranium responds to sound. Specific frequencies of drumming actually shape the metal. It's like it's alive. Within one generation, they're crafting weapons and armor that nothing on Earth can destroy. Yeah, let that sink in. A tribe with unbreakable weapons doesn't stay a tribe for long. Within 200 years, a kingdom. Within 400, like an empire. Every neighboring nation either joins them or gets very, very humble, very fast. By 500 BC, one African empire controls the entire region around that crater, and they guard it with everything they have. Meanwhile, the rest of the world has absolutely no idea. Rome is still arguing about roads. Greece is out here debating philosophy. China is building a wall. A big wall, sure, but still just a wall. The Persian Empire genuinely believes it's the most powerful force on Earth. Bless their hearts. None of them know that somewhere in Central Africa, a civilization is sitting on the most valuable material in all of human history, and that advantage is about to compound. By 200 BC, whispers start spreading. North African merchants, Middle Eastern traders, they're coming back from the interior with tools unlike anything anyone has seen. A farming blade that never dulls. A cutting tool that slices through stone like butter. The Empire isn't selling weapons. Smart move. But even their tools are changing civilizations. And the gold flowing back into the Empire? Obscene. Now, Rome hears about this, and Rome does what Rome always does. It sends soldiers. Around 100 BC, Julius Caesar dispatches a full reconnaissance mission into Africa. They never make it past the border. The guards they encounter wear armor that deflects every single weapon they carry. The Romans retreat. And in their official records they write, "There exists in the south a people touched by the gods. We will not go back." Julius Caesar. Scared. Let that one marinate. Back inside the Empire, though, something even bigger is happening. Because vibranium absorbs kinetic energy, their engineers figure out it can be used as a power source. Water wheels lined with vibranium generate more energy than should be physically possible. They build the ancient world's first power grid. Running water, heated buildings, mechanized farming. While Rome is building aqueducts, this empire already has something approaching an ancient industrial revolution. In 400 AD, let that compete with your history textbook. Fast forward to the 1400s. Europe is in its age of exploration. Portugal, Spain, Britain, sailing everywhere, taking everything. The Americas, taken. Asia, exploited. Africa, they've heard legends of a great empire in the interior, but figured it was just myth. It is not myth. And they are about to find out in the most embarrassing way possible. Portuguese soldiers land on the West African coast in 1441. The same year the real slave trade began in our timeline. They march inland. Gunpowder, cannons, full armor. They have never lost a conquest. They are confident. They probably have a little flag to plant somewhere. They are not prepared for what comes next. The empire's border army meets them in open field. The Portuguese open fire, musket balls hit vibranium shields, and just drop to the ground. A cannon fires directly at the front line. The vibranium absorbs the entire impact. The soldiers don't even flinch. Then the empire charges, with weapons that cut through European steel like it's paper. 20 minutes, that's all it takes. The Portuguese army is destroyed. The survivors run back to their ships and they never come back. News hits every royal court in Europe like a freight train. Spain, Britain, France, all hearing the same story. An African empire that cannot be conquered. Some try sending diplomats instead of soldiers. The empire is polite, but firm. We trade on our terms, or we don't trade at all. Europe has no choice but to agree. And just like that, the entire history of colonization is rewritten. Now here's where this timeline hits different. In our world, the transatlantic slave trade stole 12 million people from Africa over 400 years. 12 million people. It crippled the continent's development for centuries. But in this timeline, no European power is strong enough to raid a single African coastline. The slave trade never happens. Those 12 million people stay. They build, they innovate, they thrive. The consequences of just this one change alone are almost impossible to calculate. By the 1700s, the empire is going through its own industrial revolution. But unlike Europe's coal-powered, smoke everywhere, children in mines version, this one runs on vibranium energy. Clean, efficient, limitless, they develop mechanized production, early computing, a communication network using vibranium's sound resonance that works like a telephone. 150 years before Alexander Graham Bell. Yeah, they invented the phone in 1725. History class is canceled. See 1914, World War I. In our timeline, 20 million people dead. In this timeline, Europe still goes to war with itself. Same tensions. Same assassination in Sarajevo. Same absolute mess. But now there's a third superpower watching, and they don't join the war. They sell to both sides. Vibranium-enhanced medical equipment, energy technology, survival gear, at massive profit. Europe bleeds, Africa banks, the global power balance shifts permanently. So, what does 2024 look like in this timeline? The African superstate is the world's largest economy. Fossil fuels were never needed. Vibranium energy went global in the 1900s. Climate change? Minimal. The wealth gap between continents? Reversed. The most advanced technology on Earth, AI, space travel, medical science, all developed in Africa, centuries ahead of where we are right now. One meteor changed everything. But let's keep it real for a second. Power this absolute doesn't come without consequences. Espionage, assassination attempts, underground black markets for stolen vibranium fragments. Every major nation on Earth spending centuries trying to steal or copy it. Even within the empire, corruption, power struggles, leaders who forgot why they were protecting it. The vibranium didn't create a perfect world. It created a different one, with different problems. Because that's just how power works. One rock crashed into one continent thousands of years ago. And from that single moment, no colonization, no slave trade, clean energy, a different superpower, a different world. The real question this timeline is asking isn't what if vibranium existed. It's what happens when the most powerful resource on Earth stays in the hands of the people who found it first. That's the diff_timeline. Scene 20. Every video we take one question and break the entire world with it. If your brain is buzzing right now, You already know what to do. Subscribe. Drop your alternate history idea in the comments. We might just make it the next episode. See you in the next timeline.